And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Period. And then it starts a new thought. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. Now see, this is the first time we see a man was sent from God, but his name was John. The other reference, in the beginning was the Word, this is the Word was God. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. That's why we say Jesus Christ, yesterday, today, and forever. While he was a man, he was a God-man. And I've had Muslims try to, they get in John and and they read all these things about him. In one section it says, refers to him as, somebody refers to him as a good teacher, and he comes to him. Well, he was that much more. You see, when we speak of the Son of God, he is the Son of God, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the resurrection, the life, the way, the truth, and the life. He is the Almighty in Revelation chapter 1. And he is the one who is judging in Revelation 22. There's a lot of names applied to him, prophet, priest, king. But in Revelation 1 is the proper title, Alpha and Omega. He is the Almighty. And in him was life. And that life was the light of men. That drew. He said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto him. That lifting up was on the cross. Now, Yahshua's coming back, but he's not coming back to die on the cross. He is King of kings and Lord of lords now. He's coming back to judge his people, create a kingdom. Or judge his creation, judge all those humans that are here. And when he does come back, the first thing he's going to do, gather his people. They will come with him. But he will destroy the Antichrist, the forces. He will deliver Israel. And he will unite Jew, Gentile, male and female. So then, the light shone in the darkness comprehended it not. The thought is stopped there, and it says, there was a man sent from God. So in the beginning, God was in the beginning, the Word was in the beginning, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So you have two gods there, and the one was God the Father, the other was the Son of God. The Word. So the next time we see the reference to somebody being sent from God, it was a man sent from God, and his name was John. And he came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was the one sent there, you see, and this is the law said, let everything be confirmed with 2 or 3 witnesses. Now those have to be reliable witnesses. We're not talking about a packed court here. We're talking about John was the first one to come. Well, actually the first one was the Father. The second one was the Son himself. The third one was the works which the Son did. He said, if you don't believe me, believe the very works that I do. For these are, the Father is the one that's doing the works. But John came here, and that's why you have the book of John. That's why you have the epistles of John, and why you have Revelation written by John. So his witness was just not confined in the beginning to when the Lord showed up. His witness, even though John came and he was beheaded, there was John who wrote the Gospels. And he's referring to John the Baptist who came and the light shineth in the darkness comprehended it not. There is a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that comes into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor the will of flesh, nor the will of man, but of God. But the Word was made flesh, and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. And the us is the apostles. And John bare witness of him, and cried, This was he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me. Now you see, John, who wrote the gospel, is bearing witness of John the Baptist who came. And John bare witness of him. This was he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have we all received, in grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ, and thank God. Yahshua said that I've come not to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law. Because the law could not erase the sins of men. It was temporary. Because the atonement made in the Old Testament, in the law, was the blood atonement through bulls and goats, the atonement, where they sacrificed. And when Yahshua came, he came fulfilling the Passover. And the Passover is the type that when, Jesus died on the cross, Yahshua was resurrected from the dead, he delivered us from that death angel. He's the one that conquered death and hell. And of his fullness have we all received, in grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. No man has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. Now see, that's the truth. So now, today, as the whole world is going into chaos and trouble, we know the Son of God. There's people who think they know God, like the Muslim jihadists who go around chopping off people's heads and killing them and raping them, and Hamas, who did all the horrible things to Israel and their people. And they were happy in singing it. I heard an official defense. He was some guy that was looking over the reels of all what they were doing. And he said he had never seen anybody who was doing such things even other Muslims who were killing people, who were as happy as these people were to be raping and killing these people and burning their babies alive, putting them in the oven and turning the oven on, leaving the baby in there to die and roast to death. Now these people deserve hell, and worse than hell. And to that Muslim that wrote me and said that we believe that he was a good man, we believe this, we believe that, but they don't believe he's the Son of God, you ain't going to make it. That doesn't, the devils believe he's certain things too, and they ain't going to go to heaven. You must be born again by the Spirit. Period. You have to come to him and be born again of the Spirit and truly believe and be born again. There's a change. So, Christian, you better understand who you believe in, because these people that are here today that want to kill you and your family, and I mean it, in America, around the world, they just soon kill anybody that don't agree with them. Last night, Tower and I were in a Zoom meeting, and they were, the two top, one was the top head of ICC, International Christian Concern, and there was another one in there who was another guy that helped run it with him. And they were showing videos of what was going on in some of the latest stuff. And you know, there's no doubt, we've been reporting this, and last night they told us that, and God is moving. Muslims and others are getting saved by droves, while these jihadists go around claiming that you have to become a Muslim or they're going to cut your head off. Even Jesus said this. He said there will come a time when those who kill you will think that they are doing God's service. That's exactly what the Muslims believe. So understand, as we close this study, you must understand who you believe in and where he came from. And I say this a lot. I have a whole playing list of prophetic verses. But I also listen to John. Early in the morning, every morning, I'll listen to John. I think you need to listen to John at least 20 or 30 times, and then listen to it regular after that. Nevertheless, your America is not going to stay the same, because Joe Biden and the Democrats, you know, and it's just sick over there in D.C. Nobody seems really concerned about the border and who's coming across it. But let me tell you, when you've got a president and a bunch of Democrats who have been leading the way for years to fill this country, and it goes all the way back to Obama, with people who come here illegally, and then to give them a $5,000 credit card, set them up in a place, and then have Joe want to build camps for them on federal lands, some of the best lands we have that we wouldn't even be able to access because Biden decided that's what he's going to do. This is bull. And see, that's the problem you have when you have wicked people in our